Welcome to the Workbench After Hours podcast. My name is Keith, and I'm your host. This is where we talk about the firearms community, shop talk, and everyday life experiences. Welcome back to another episode of the Workbench After Hours podcast. We got a guest on today, Big Joe White. You've been on before. Yep. It's been a little while.
Yeah, it has been. Good to be back, everybody.
Good to have you back.
Yeah.
So we are, before we try the actual whiskey of the week this week, Chris and I had this Glenfiddich 14-year on, was it?
Probably 4 episodes ago.
Yeah. It's our bourbon drinkers trying to get into Scotch. This was highly recommended, and we liked it. So my dad's a bourbon drinker, not really into Scotch.
Nope.
So I figured he should give it a try and see if he likes it. So, yeah, Chris and I really, really like this.
Especially neat. Like,
yes.
I prefer that neat rather than on ice.
Okay.
Yeah. Aged 14 years in ex-bourbon barrels. So that really helps get that kind of bourbon flavor you're used to. And then
finished in white oak barrels, I believe.
Yeah.
Are these Jack Daniel's barrels? Or I know they send a lot of their barrels over there for...
It could be. I don't.
They don't say.
Doesn't specify.
Yeah.
But
okay.
Yeah.
Nope.
I mean, it smells like bourbon.
Yeah.
When you're doing it. What do you think?
Yeah, I like that.
Really good. I like it.
Where's yours?
Good.
He's got to pick up the kids later.
Yeah.
So he's going to stick to the whiskey of the week. And
like I said, where's yours?
Yeah.
Got to pick up the kids. You're going to need it.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Got to be safe and responsible.
But like the front end of this, you get your bourbon taste, and then there's a little more kind of what you're expecting
of a
on
Scotch.
the back end with the Scotch a little bit. But I don't know. I really like it. It's just something I would pour like a little glass of and just sip on. Not going to have a whole lot in one sitting, but
this seems like it would be really good at a cold football game. Because it's very
like
very
the one
warm.
that's going to happen on Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that one. But yeah, it's because it's very warm.
Yeah.
I like it. I don't know that I'll buy any of it or drink it. But
Yeah, you're not
like
on
this.
the rocks. You like to mix Jim Beam with Sprite still?
7-Up.
7-Up?
I mean, it's only because Jim Beam's not good, just straight.
That is one
and
thing
I'm
we
too
haven't-
cheap to buy anything more expensive. I should. I've got some other good bourbon at home. I just don't want to open it.
I hear you. Yeah, Jim Beam is one that we haven't had just regular.
Not regular Jim Beam, no.
Yeah, we've tried the Devil's Cut, the Black Label,
Those are good.
Double Oak. They are
Yeah.
good, but just I don't want to bring it on the show because I know I don't like it on the
Yeah.
rocks or neat. So
yeah, that's
there's
more
that.
straight up mixer.
That was good.
So cool. I wanted him to try that, been wanting him to try it for a little while.
Flavorful. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. So now for the actual whiskey of the week, Chris, what do we got?
We have Russell's 10-year reserve. So
Nice.
this is going to be interesting.
You guys have not had this?
Nope.
Nope. We tried to have a whiskey that we have never tried before
Yeah.
on the
Well,
show.
I've never had it either, fellas. Never even heard of it.
So we have started watching. We simultaneously started watching the same bourbon channel. Didn't even know it.
Yeah.
They do a lot of like whiskey bourbon reviews, and this is one that's on there a lot.
Yeah.
Because they do comparisons. They do ones that are good for beginners. You know, some of your,
Blind taste test.
and then if you want to stay in a certain price range, and
Yep.
this one has gotten good reviews. So
Yeah, every time. They say the aroma we're supposed to get is orange peel and citrus with notes of butterscotch, maple, oak, and vanilla. So I don't know.
Not getting any vanilla.
No, I got maple.
I got the maple and the oak.
Yeah.
yeah, that's pretty much what I'm getting too.
I don't even smell the orange or the citrusy.
Wow. That's pretty good.
It's only 90 proof, so it should be pretty easy to. Can you read that paragraph up there that tells us about it a little bit?
Man, that's tasty.
It just says proof of small batch bourbons has spicy vanilla flavors with smooth finish. The intense oak woodiness of Russell's Reserve allows you to stand up to the bold flavors of combinations of Campari and rich, sweet vermouth and Belvedere.
This is a wild turkey.
Is it?
Distilled and bottled by the Wild Turkey Distilling Company in Lawrenceburg, Kentucky.
Okay, I've heard of that.
Yeah.
Wild Turkey's pretty strong whiskey.
Yeah, that channel, they really like more of the higher proofs we've been realizing. They like the hundreds and up, it seems like. They love wild turkey.
Man, most of that stuff is really smooth. The
Yeah.
the 100 proof, 110 proof, all that. I mean,
Yeah.
people worry about the high alcohol content. They worry, oh my God, that must be so strong. Usually it's pretty smooth.
Yeah.
Yep.
You just get that burn on the back end.
Yeah.
That's all you really get.
Yeah.
And we've noticed
Delicious.
lately, you get that ice cube or put it on the rocks and it brings that burn down.
What are we supposed to
yeah.
get for the taste again?
The taste, you're supposed to get like spicy caramel and vanilla flavors is what they say.
I can see that. It's not as sweet as the rare breed that we tried last week.
Yeah, the
That
rare
was-
breed is all up front. It's real sweet. And then you get that spice on the back
I
end.
still don't taste any vanilla. But you know what? I really don't even.
Hey,
It's tasty.
it's whiskey.
yeah.
Sometimes I've noticed
That's all he
too for
cares
like some of
about.
the other flavors, like if you really want to concentrate, you take small sips of it and let it just sit. And then sometimes you can pick them up, but it's real hard.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Oh, look at those. Nice.
Yeah, Marie got me
Them some nice
set
cubes.
Up. Yeah, Marie got me set up for Christmas.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because we just had a cup that we take, we kind of take ice out of, and she's like, "That's tacky."
Hey,
So-
that's okay. We're tacky.
Yeah, so I got these nice. We tried the round
Yeah.
ice cubes, but it is such a pain in the butt.
To get them out.
Yeah, to get not only get them out, but
make
then
'em.
they take forever to freeze. These a lot easier.
Have you ever tried those steel, like the steel ones?
Yes.
They
So
actually have those bullets.
his brother got us some. They come in like a wheel, like a revolver wheel,
Yeah.
and they're bullets, and you freeze them and put them in your glass. But I wasn't a fan.
Yeah.
One thing,
You can, for me, you could taste. I don't know. There was a metallic taste.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like it.
and what we like is you let that ice melt a little bit, and
Yeah. Then it starts bringing out other flavors of
Yeah.
the bourbon or whiskey we're
if
drinking.
it's a hot whiskey, it kind of helps
Calm
smooth
it
it out a
down.
little bit. And you can't do that with those
Yeah.
metal things. So
No.
I don't know. It's cool, but we used it once and haven't used them
Yeah.
again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Although I wonder with the scotch
How it would do.
how it would do, because then you're not going to water it down and it's not going to
Change.
get super cold.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Might be a test we do. Yeah, because we put that scotch on and it changed the profile completely. We're like, this is totally different than what it was neat. We need to go back to just drinking it neat.
Yeah, it brought out some weird. I don't know. It's better neat than
Yeah.
on the rocks,
I'm a
which is
pu-
surprising.
I'm a puss. Normally, I mean, I generally, it's been a long time since I've had a scotch before this one, but I would always order like a scotch and soda.
Ooh, ooh,
It was tasty.
really?
The easy way to drink it. Yeah.
Yeah,
But I'm, not a seasoned scotch drinker. Most seasoned scotch drinkers would look down their nose at me, and rightly so.
probably not, because I mean, it's an acquired taste. So
It is.
it's just you're not going to get into it just right away. I mean, we've worked up into the whiskeys. Like I had to start with Jim Beam and Sprite, heavy on the Sprite,
Yep.
and then we've just kind of
Yeah, you've come a long way pretty
Yeah.
fast.
now.
Really.
I used to, travel a lot with work, so I'd go to like breweries and stuff and try all their local IPAs and pale ales and all that stuff. I don't drink beer anymore.
No.
If I go to a restaurant, I'll get Jack on, with Coke or like a old fashioned or
Just
something.
like Jack on the Rocks.
Yeah, but now my go-to drink, if I'm just gonna have a drink, it's something on the rocks. Now, if I'm just kind of hanging out, don't want to drink one of these expensive whiskeys, I'll go to Jack.
Yep.
Just have that on the rocks now, or maybe Gentleman Jack, or that Jameson Black Label.
As if Jack's not expensive. To me,
It is. It is.
It is.
But you figure if you're drinking it on the rocks, I tend to not drink as much as if I'm mixing it with Sprite.
Right.
Because I'm having it in a smaller glass and I don't know.
Yeah.
Whereas if I'm drinking Jim Beam mixed,
I know.
it's not till the next day you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, that doesn't happen to me anymore. I could go and go and go. I feel
Must be nice.
fine the next day.
Oh, that's Marie. Like she
I
got
can't tell
pretty
you the last
toasted.
time I was hungover.
Marie got pretty toasted last night and totally fine. Pisses me off. Hate it.
I miss those days.
So you still get hangovers, huh?
Yes.
They're worse now.
Really?
I think, yeah.
I know my point, so I try and stop before that, or at least mix in some water. So I don't get them that often, but there's times where we're with a bunch of people and you get a little more than you should. But this guy, when we were in Tennessee, he's always talking because Hunter was always talking shit how much he can drink. Well, Chris, very competitive, is like, oh man, I could outdrink all you guys. Him and Hunter were going back and forth because Chris used to drink a lot in college and not get hungover. Which he was like, I'm going to take a 6-shooter of Everclear, which he did, but then he went straight to bed. So it's like, okay, did you go upstairs and pass out, or did you throw it up? I don't know.
No, I didn't throw up.
But Chris, we've been out of college for a little while. Yeah, we have some whiskey on the podcast, but he's not a big drinker anymore. So in Tennessee, I'm like, all right, we're gonna see. We're gonna get Chris a little drunk. So I hate poured him.
The entire night. The entire night.
We started off with a George Dickel whiskey that was not good. It wasn't
nasty.
the single barrel that we liked on the show. We tried something else. It was disgusting. So we ended up, I had a bottle of Jack Daniel's Master Distiller that we had, and it's not bad. It was better than the George Dickel.
Yeah.
So it was doable.
Was it the Dickel Rye? Because I've had that and it's good.
No, it wasn't the rye.
I think it was just a regular George Dickel. We're like, oh, the single barrel is good. Let's just get this. This should be just as good. I think.
Yeah.
And it wasn't at all.
No, and I don't know if I've seen that here.
No.
And we found this when we were in
Tennessee.
Kentucky. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So I'm hate porn Christian. I'm like, well, you've been talking all this talk. Let's see if you can walk the walk. And we were watching Top Gun, and he just went to bed.
The new one?
No, the old one, because Hunter never saw Top Gun at all.
Hunter has never seen Top Gun.
No.
Had never seen Top Gun. What?
And we've given him so much crap on the podcast for that. And so we're like, all right, you're going to sit down here and watch it. He wasn't a fan. He's like, yeah,
This is stupid is what he said.
Yeah.
And we're like, what? We should pull your man card.
Yeah.
No kidding, man. I bet he hates Rocky, too. And The Godfather. I mean, come on.
So
Hunty. Come on, Hunty.
Right, Hunter? I'm like, Chris, he went to bed, and man, the next day, so we didn't know we were going to drink a lot anyways, but they have these IV treatment places
Everywhere
up there. And we were looking at that. We're like, let's just try it before we decided to start drinking a lot.
I hear that really works.
Yeah, it does. So the next day we're like, well, I'm glad we made these because I'm super hungover. Chris was puking.
Yeah.
We couldn't get Chris to go to lunch first or brunch at that time. So Alan had to hang back and come pick you back up, and because
I was hurting.
He was hugging the toilet.
Were you poopy pants drunk?
No, just.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. I woke up at I remember waking up at 6 going, man, what the fuck happened?
Mm-hmm.
And
we can say fuck?
Yeah.
Because
Yes. Fucky.
let's go, Brandon.
Yeah.
Let's go, Brandon.
I took a shower and I was like, all right, I'm good. And then I went back to bed, and then I woke up and just started puking, and I was like, oh, fuck. And from there, it was like, I think it all hit me at once.
Man.
But once I got that IV,
Really?
So Hunter and
How long does that take?
It depends. So Hunter and I went first, and we were sitting next to each other, And I was noticing that, or Hunter was like, why is mine dripping faster than yours? And we asked the guy, and he's like, well, it just depends on how dehydrated you are. So apparently he was super dehydrated. It took us about 30 to 40 minutes for Hunter and I's. Chris comes in and is in and out in 15 minutes.
Wow.
I tell you what, though, when I walked in there, I was like, oh, fuck, I just got to make it up here. I got to fill this out or I'm going to get sick. I'm sitting there like, oh, please just don't get sick. Don't get sick. And then they take me back there, hook me up, and I'm like, man, I'm starting to feel really good.
He also got a painkiller in his, though.
For my knees.
Yeah.
You know, maybe the next thing you guys should think about, I mean, if those things really work that well and you want to drink quite a bit, maybe you should get a port. Remember Mom, God love her, had that port, that power port. It's up here. Mm-hmm. And then that way, you know, they don't have to hook you up. You got a port. You go to the IV place, access your port. You're good as gold. Probably save, God knows, at least 5 minutes anyway.
It didn't even take long. They just hook it up and go.
The next thing will be you could be able to do that at home. We'll all be able to do that at home.
They do have traveling IV places, so they can come to your home and do it for you.
Really? Like a mobile?
Yeah.
Can they come to your car?
I don't know. That'd be
Pull over at a rest area and say, I can't go anywhere.
I can't do this.
No, mile marker 147.
Yeah.
I need an IV now.
Yeah.
But honestly, I mean, that is a great business plan because, I've been hungover and I'm like, God, I wish I could just go get an IV.
Yeah.
Well, now you can without having to pay the stupid hospital bills.
How much is it?
It
depends on what you get.
Yeah, because you can get just a regular IV and you can get the half liter or the full liter. And that's not, I can't remember what the price is, but that's the cheapest option, just getting the regular IV. If you can add in vitamins, he added in a painkiller, there's a bunch of different stuff you could add into it.
They had a hangover special, but it was like $250 or something.
Wow.
And that's like everything they have cocktail-wise into one bag.
Yeah.
You know, for $250, I would want the hangover special, but I would also want it to include like a nice dose of alcohol to get me started on my on that night's, drunk.
Yeah. Pre-game. Big
Pre-game.
time.
Yeah.
Could you imagine
Foreplay.
that this was available in college?
Oh,
God.
Oh, my gosh.
Like, yep.
Let's go.
I would have gotten a port at
Hell,
that
I
point.
wouldn't have been able to afford it. Yeah. Not for that money. Of course, I'm sure it would have been a lot cheaper back in the 80s.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, yeah. Just the regular.
I think it was like
IV
$90, and then I paid an extra $10 for the pain med.
But if you have an HSA account, that counts towards it.
Yeah.
You could.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Yeah, because I
Wow.
called and asked about it, like, can I do like IV therapy? And they're like, yeah, I don't see why not. I was like, I could put it on that card. They're like, yeah.
I wish I would have done that because I didn't.
I was like, if I would have known that, I could have done it like 3 or 4 times, just gotten smashed for like the whole weekend.
Yeah, you don't want to leave any of that money in there at the end of the year. You might as well use it up.
Yeah.
Well, the HSA
Something worthwhile.
The HSA rolls over. So
it does?
I build
Some
mine
of them do.
The
It depends
FSA
on.
doesn't.
Yeah.
But
Right. Okay.
I always do the HSA and it just builds up because I don't go to the doctor very often. So I spend all my money on glasses.
Yeah.
But so yeah, that was
That's awesome.
That was a good trip.
it was.
Hey, speaking of you and Hunter being really competitive, the last time I was here was several months ago, and you guys were talking about like having some one-on-one basketball game.
Yeah.
And
They
and you were guaranteeing that
I would.
you would take him down. What did you guys ever play that?
Yep.
Yeah.
What happened?
I whooped his ass like I told you I
You're
would.
kidding.
No.
He was absolutely convinced that he was going to kill you.
Yeah. He got his ass tore down.
Hunter,
So
buddy.
the funny thing is
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Alan and I went to watch and they were both bad. Like you could tell none of us had played basketball legit
years.
in a long time. So
Was it kind of like Dwight Schrute and Michael Scott doing the karate in the karate studio together?
they were having more air balls than anything. Like Alan and I were like, oh my God, like each guy got up to like 14 air balls. Like it was bad.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you guys were just bombing away from...
There for
No.
a while, I just started backing him down and stealing the layups on him.
Really?
We went to a park down the street at or an elementary school,
Yeah.
and the goals are garbage. They're the ones that have no springs on them, so anything hits it,
It's gone.
it was a garbage goal,
Yeah.
which kind of contributed to that. But I mean, the air balls are air balls. I
Yeah.
mean, that has nothing to do with the backboard.
That's right.
So it was it took them a
Yep.
while to do that match, but Chris did say he was gonna beat him.
11-5, and I did it 11-4.
You know what you need to say to tell Hunter? Say, man, maybe I ought to call Hunter Biden next time. He'd probably give me a better game.
Told him next time if he's going to play me, he's got to beat my brother first.
That's great. Well, man, congratulations. That's a nice win.
Yeah.
Hunter, I'm sure you're watching this. Buddy, that had to hurt.
Yeah.
Well, what sucked is then Alan's like, "Oh, let's me and you play." I'm like, "All right." I am very out of shape, apparently. and then after Alan and I played, they wanted to do doubles.
To be fair, I mean, you were never like Larry Bird.
No.
So,
Well, no, I was never good at that. But like as far as being in shape and just being able to run around,
oh, you huffing and puffing?
yeah. And then by the time we were playing doubles, I'm like, dude, I had to take a break. I'm like, I'm gonna puke. Like, because I wasn't expecting to play, so I was drinking my coffee and stuff while they were playing, so that didn't help.
Yeah.
And then the fact that I don't run around anymore, yeah, I was hurting.
Maybe you need to start getting a little cardio in.
I
Start with a little walking and then maybe a jog a little.
I was when it was getting nice out. We don't have a treadmill, and I don't want to do a gym, so it's been. But at the end of
Get cold weather gear and you go outside. That's what you do.
see, but then you're breathing in the cold air. I don't like it.
Oh man.
What about you?
What about
are
me?
you jogging outside right now?
I was hitting it hard until about 6 weeks ago.
Oh, right about
Tuesday,
6 weeks ago with winter.
Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. No, I went outside. I got all the cold weather gear. I actually really like it, but I forget what it was that threw. I mean, I was going good again. I just picked it back up. I don't know, it's like 4 or 5 months. Every just Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. It'd be 5 miles Tuesday, 5 on Thursday, 10 on Sunday, and I can't even remember what it was. But maybe it was just because I was busy at work and I was getting home late, and I said, "Fuck it." But I will be going back. That's the one thing I do that I really like.
You used to run a lot back when I lived with you guys after
Every night.
college.
Yeah, yeah.
I used to run all the time too. Like when after I moved out of your guys' house, I was in an apartment by myself, had nothing to do, so I'd work out in the morning, and then I'd work out when I came home at the gym in the apartment complex. Now it's like, nope. I'd rather sit down on the couch and drink a nice glass of whiskey.
Man, it's crazy. I will go back to running after work, but right now all I do is push-ups every morning. I do 100 on Monday, 200 on Tuesday, 300 on Wednesday, 400 Thursday, 500 on Friday. And then
So you do
That's
100
it.
a day?
I do 1,500 a week. So it's
Push-ups?
Yeah.
Whew.
I mean,
You could do that many? You
yeah.
could do 500 push-ups?
In sets of 100. It's 5 sets of 100 on Friday only. 4
Damn.
sets of 100 on Thursday. 3 sets Wednesday. 2
I could
sets.
probably do 20.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I mean, you do that after a week, you'll do 30.
Yeah.
After a month, you'll be doing 50. I mean, what the glory of it is, it only takes, it's less than 1 second per rep. I mean, you could do for me, I do 100 push-ups in a minute and a half.
What did you, when you started doing that, what were you doing?
Or actually probably closer to a minute. I'm sorry?
When you decided to start doing push-ups in the morning, what were you, like, were you only able to do like maybe 50 at a time, or what were you?
I mean, I've been doing push-ups for a long time.
Pushing himself
and
up
off.
off the floor after he had too much Jim Beam.
There's no such thing as too much Jim Beam. No, I was doing 4 sets of 80 every day. And then I kind of altered it around a little bit and was doing more. I mean, I could probably do 200 right now. but that's all I do. I bought all those weights, and I've got them in the apartment. And I realized after lifting for a couple of months and pulling muscle after muscle after muscle, I'm like, man, this is why I quit lifting weights in the first place.
Yeah.
So I'm going to quit lifting weights again.
So, Chris, how many push-ups do you think you can do?
Maybe 30, and that's be about it.
Man, I was hoping for a competition, damn it.
Maybe 30. I don't know. I haven't done push-ups.
I bet Hunter's going to call in
Hunter has
2 minutes and tell you he can do 35.
Does is work up.
Really?
Work out.
Is he
works out all the
Does he
time.
work out a lot?
He
Yeah.
used to. He's getting back into it, but not as much since they had the baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ran into him. They're doing why he hasn't been on the podcast is one because of the new baby, as we discussed, but then they were doing dry January.
Yep.
So he's like, oh, after the first, I can come back on. So we'll
Dry
see.
January.
Yeah.
I thought about that, and then I got to.
Then
for
you laughed
quitters.
at yourself and said, "No way, I'm doing that."
Yeah,
That's like going to an AA meeting.
Yeah.
Why go? You don't want to quit.
Dry January.
no.
Nope, not me.
No, I don't know. I want to start working out again eventually, but I tried this summer. I was doing great. I was running like a mile a night
That's good.
just to trying to get back into shape, and then my knees started giving out, and I was like, uh-oh.
That's when you start walking.
Yeah.
It's not about the speed; it's about the distance.
Yeah.
You can. Doesn't matter.
Well, that was the thing. Like I started
That's
out
what
my
she
first
says, too.
week.
I've
My
heard.
first week, I
Right.
was just like, let's see how fast I can do the mile, not trying to kill myself. And I was like 15, 16 minutes. I was like, oh, crap. And then the second week, I got it down to like 11 minutes for the mile. But I was still like huffing and puffing by the time I was done with that.
Well, that's the problem. I mean, with the knees, it's like if you're actually running, you're leaving the ground,
Yeah.
and coming down, leaving the ground and coming down, man. And
Yeah.
eventually, especially if you're a little overweight,
Yep.
that's gonna wreck your knees. But if you're walking, you're never actually leaving the ground. I mean, it's just a lot easier on your joints. And if you walk a mile
Yeah.
versus run a mile, you're still going to burn,
Same amount of
130, 140 calories. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. So it's not about the speed, man. Just
Yeah.
Get
I
the
just
exercise
felt bad
in.
because I was like, man, I used to be able to run a mile in like 6 minutes.
yeah. Well, you know what? I mean, if you start walking, spend a couple of months walking like 4 or 5 times
Yeah.
a week, and not only that, but you'll probably be able to go 2 miles,
Yeah.
3. And if you're running, if you don't have your wind, it's hard to go more than a mile.
Yeah.
But I mean, you could burn
Yeah, because what I would do is
300 or
I'd
400 calories.
run the mile, and then after I was done, I'd do like 2 laps around the neighborhood just walking.
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, because if you start doing that, the pounds will start coming off, and once you start shedding the weight, you'll be able to go back to running.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's baby steps, but man, it works.
Yep.
It really does. You feel good about yourself too. So,
Yeah, I remember before college, I was into working out, and then during college, not so much.
Yeah.
But then after I moved back from college, didn't have a whole lot to do, so got back into it. You were really into it, so it was starting out to where I had used to been able to go a distance, like I'd be able to run a mile in no time and just keep going. But getting back into it after a while, it's like, man, you really struggle even hitting a mile.
Yep.
But then it's just you just got to keep at it and then I got to the point to where I was running freaking 10 miles. It was crazy because I'd watch The Office or something during it, and I'd be like, all right, I got to at least get through this episode. I'm like, all right, well, maybe I could go another episode in and stuff, and you just keep going.
Snowball effect.
You get that runner's high sometimes, which is nice. But I don't know if you have ever had this happen. When I run, or even now, if I do like really long walks, my like foot goes numb. Like it is either my foot, and now it's like my calf will kind of go numb. Do you ever have that happen?
it's probably a tumor.
Probably.
It's not a tumor.
Tumor.
It's not a tumor. No, that's never happened to me.
Oh, God, yeah. Every time when I would run, I'd have nice running shoes, but then there'd be a point to where my feet kind of go numb a little bit, and then I had to power through it. But now, if I'm like doing long walks, like before winter hit. Man, my freaking foot goes numb. It's crazy.
That's weird.
I
Like
have
my
foot pain, but not numb.
my calves will get like really, really tight, and then my foot goes numb. It's uncomfortable.
It's probably some circulatory thing. Well, obviously it is.
Yeah.
If you have numbness, a lot of people probably suffer from that. It's probably normal.
Probably just because I'm dehydrated because I drink a lot.
Probably.
It could be that. Yep, it could be that.
Maybe I just need more IV therapy.
Yeah, that could be.
Go a couple times a week.
It's funny when we, like Rachel, RD, Rich's aunt out in California, she ran the San Francisco Marathon several years ago, and we all went out there. You guys were with us, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we went out there to watch her, and we just on family vacation or whatever. But she trained for that thing, and the ways that she ran that whole marathon, 26 miles, was she ran a mile, then she walked for 1 minute. Then she ran another mile and walked for 1 minute. So she worked in,
Yeah.
26 minutes, I guess, of walking in that marathon. And that was the first marathon that she ever ran. And I don't know if she ever ran another one. RD, if you're watching, maybe you should let us know if you ran any other marathons. But so that's another thing you could do, walk and run intermittently.
Well, that's why I did a little bit too when I was trying it. Like one day I'd just try to run the whole thing. And then the next day I'd walk a straight, run a straight, walk a straight, run a straight in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just to try to speed up, slow down that heart.
Yeah. Well, no matter what you do, at
Yeah.
least you're doing something.
Yeah.
So
When we do a lot of disc golf, which we need to take you and try out, it's if you do disc golf, you get some, especially Shawnee Mission Park, you get some
You get some walking.
Yeah.
like a long course.
Yeah. That and heritage.
Yep.
So
So that's fine. You need to do it this year.
That-
We didn't.
we didn't go much last year. We went a couple times.
Yeah.
The year
With Hunter
before.
having a baby on the way and then everything else, it was
Yeah.
hard to sneak in. But hopefully this year.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll buy a bike and ride it to heritage.
Yeah,
and
we
play.
can. Yeah, I've been trying to convince him to buy a motorcycle.
No, ride a bike.
No.
Exercise.
You know, the one with the motor.
I can get one with a weed eater motor. What's the difference?
Oh, yeah, baby. No motorcycles for me.
They're fun.
That's a quick and easy way for me to die.
Yep.
I like to go too fast, and I am not a very experienced rider. Probably not a good idea.
That's why you don't go fast. You just kind of build up to that.
No, no.
Well, and then
I
with
would go way too fast.
with the Harley, especially the one I have, it doesn't accelerate that fast. There's not a whole lot of power. It's only got 883. So I don't know.
Yeah, but eventually you could get it up to.
I'm getting to the point to where I'm getting comfortable getting up to speed pretty quick.
Good.
I
Yeah.
don't need that. I like
Well,
to go
you want that
fast.
because you want to get away from everybody.
Yeah.
It's like I want to get away from people around me.
I like just to go fast.
Me
And
too.
Nope, I don't need it.
I heard Kat doesn't like it when you go fast.
Yeah. I'd get in trouble with the motorcycle.
I would too.
But you should. We had fun when we went on a little cruise.
Yeah, what was I doing the entire time? Open throttle the entire time.
It's all right. Joe had a scooter too, so those two rode scooters, and I rode the bike. They look like
cute.
They look like a little bunch of
Maybe you could get your feet wet on the motorcycle and just ride on the back of Keith's bike with him.
Yeah, I can put passenger pegs on there for you.
That'd be nice, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be cute.
Yeah. Real cute.
Hey, there's some good ones going. You said the best time to buy is in the winter. Guess what, Chris? It's winter.
Yep. And I don't need to buy one.
It's fun. I'm telling you.
I know it's fun. I also know I get in a lot of trouble.
You don't know that.
It's about knowing your limits. Isn't that what we were just talking about?
Right.
Like drinking?
But if, so
Yeah.
don't
You knowing your limits?
Don't buy a
Yes.
don't buy a sport bike. Don't buy a Ducati. Buy a Harley or
I
an
don't
Indian.
want a Harley.
Buy an Indian or something that's
No.
or do your cafe bobber because you're not. It's going to be too uncomfortable to go fast.
No, it won't.
Yes, there's no suspension on there to break
Yeah,
up
there is.
anything. Like barely.
The ones I'm wanting to do have suspension.
I would, if before I spent money on a motorcycle, I'd probably buy a boat. Or
That's funny.
like a-
I happen to be wearing a Harley shirt, and he happens to be wearing a Nantucket shirt. That just went perfect together.
Yeah, well, I would. I'd buy a boat. I mean, I know that's in today's day and age, that's a lot more money than a.
What kind of boat are we
motorcycle, but-
talking about? 'Cause it depends. I mean,
I don't know. It depends on where I would be.
motorcycles aren't cheap anymore.
I'm gonna stay here. I'd get a nice, like a nice runabout for the lake or whatever, or just get like a couple of Sea-Doos,
That was what I wanted, and then I bought a bike.
But if I was gonna move to the coast, I'd get a nice like center console fishing boat.
Do some deep sea fishing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should buy a really nice yacht and charter it.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that. I'll just buy a nice yacht.
Might as well. Why not? What else are you gonna do?
How much does a really nice yacht cost? I don't think
Couple
I have
mil.
that. I don't think. Yeah, I don't have that kind of scratch.
Just make a nice business plan.
I could probably put it together,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't have that kind of money.
So your thoughts on this whiskey on the rocks?
I love it. It's
Yeah.
great. In fact, I need some more.
Oh. Fix that.
Honestly, the ice cube presentation is fantastic. I like those big, heavy single ice cubes.
Yeah, they're nice. Definitely better than what we had before.
Yeah. Every once in a while I'd bring mine in, but I'd always forget.
So we skipped it.
Oh,
We're a little late on it.
Gun
But the
of the
gun of the
week.
week.
Oh, sorry. I guess we got carried away.
No, it's all good. Something a little different. We've had a couple bolt guns, but they've been older.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, get that nice and centered.
There we go.
There you go. So I decided to bring out something a little bit different than what we've brought before. It's not going to fit on the frame, but this is a Mossberg Patriot. So it is a bolt action rifle, and these things come in all sorts of different calibers. You can get different stocks. This one happens to be like a Cerakoted barrel with a, I don't know what you would call that,
Camo.
some sort of camo stock, but it looks freaking awesome.
Is that yours or is it for sale? Is that inventory or your own?
It's mine.
That's badass, dude.
The business bought it, but it's mine. Because, so the reason I bought this is, one, I've never had like a modern day bolt gun. And I bought this right around the pandemic when ammo was becoming harder and harder to find. Your 9mm 223 5.56 was out of stock pretty quickly. You could still find hunting rounds. You could still find 308, 6.5 Creedmoor, and stuff like that. So this is a 6.5 Creedmoor, but now it's it ended up going out of stock.
Yeah.
It took forever to come back in stock, but I'm like, well, while 6.5 is still in stock, I'll get a nice bolt gun. It's Joe Biden friendly because it only has on the bottom here, it has a detachable 5-round magazine that comes out. So Joe Biden approved magazine.
Can you? I mean,
No, I cannot put an extended magazine on it. But
Man.
yeah,
so there is no extended magazine that fits that rifle.
with these kind of rifles, you don't want to.
Yeah.
Do
It'd be
that.
heavy.
Yeah, it'll be heavy, and then if you're resting it somewhere, say you do take it hunting, and you want to rest it, you don't want that magazine sticking out because it gets in the way. So you want something nice and flush. These aren't very expensive. They're pretty entry level into bolt guns. You could spend buku bucks on a nice bolt gun, especially when you get into
Competition shooting and long distance
and
shooting.
even just hunting rifles, like freaking the Tika rifles and everything like that. They get really expensive.
Yeah.
This was like $300, like not expensive. And I bought this retail. I bought this through Academy because none of my suppliers had them, and I saw that, and I'm like,
Got to get it.
gotta get it. 6.5 Creedmoor still in stock. Well, then shortly after I bought this, 6.5
Yeah, it
went off the
disappeared
shelves.
really
Yeah,
quickly.
just like everything else. But it's really cool. I mean, for a cheap bolt gun, the bolt is actually relatively smooth. It's got a fluted barrel, and the cool thing about it, it does have a threaded barrel on the end, so I could put a suppressor on there if I wanted to.
Dude, that is badass. That's
Yeah,
nice.
and like run that action. It is, to me anyway, not
It's
being
smooth.
very well experienced in bolt guns. That's smooth.
Yeah,
Because
dude.
before this, the only bolt guns I had experience in are Mosin and Gons, and those are garbage. But I put.
Did you buy this scope and put it on there yourself? Or?
Yeah, I had that scope from something else. So I have it on a lightweight Aero Precision scope mount, and I think that's the Vortex scope, right, Chris?
Yeah, I believe it is. It says primary arms.
Or is that the
It's
primary?
primary arms.
Okay, so that's a primary arms one I bought on sale then. But it's
So smooth.
it's got like I said, a fluted barrel, a Cerakoted barrel. That's like I forgot what color they call that. Like a
It's like an olive dab green almost.
Have you fired that thing?
Mm-hmm. We took that out shooting at Brandon's house, and dude, I love that.
I mean, even loaded, does it deliver the rounds up there that smoothly? I mean,
yeah.
Oh yeah. It's super smooth.
and that's cool.
Super smooth. I cleaned it yesterday. I had, we took it out shooting, and I cleaned it, and it doesn't get that dirty. So, if you're not shooting,
Yeah.
and with these, you're shooting a little more premium rounds. What I got on here are your hunting rounds because it's got the plastic tip on there. So,
Maybe you need to start going out hunting.
yeah,
Next
You ever
year.
think about that?
I have. Yeah, I don't think I could field dress a deer. I don't like the sight of blood.
Well, have somebody with you that will.
Yeah,
Or
So,
just take
You don't
deer-
like the sight of blood?
no.
You'll get used to it pretty quick. I mean,
If I get my blood,
and I'm not. I mean, I've never hunted, so I'm not talking about that. But
if I get my blood taken out to look away, or else I get a little queasy.
really,
What?
Yeah,
Well,
I'm a puss when it comes to blood.
well, that's okay. I mean,
Never be a paramedic.
that's not a natural sight. So
But yeah, these things are cool. And the cool thing about this barrel or the bolt is, I don't know most modern guns, but from what I'm familiar with the Mil Serp guns, you have to pull the trigger to get the bolt out. It actually has a button towards the back of the receiver. You just press that and it slides out. So you don't actually have to pull the trigger to get the bolt out, which is kind of cool. So it's got cuts in the, basically fluted spiral cuts in the bolt as well. So it comes in all sorts of different calibers, and get a couple different barrel lengths in there, and you can get a black one if you want to. So different colors. I haven't seen this one online recently, just the kind of blacked out synthetic one.
do they have a pink one for the ladies?
I'm sure they do.
If not, I'm sure
That
you
probably
can
wouldn't go
Cerakote
over.
it.
It probably wouldn't go over well in the woods.
You'd be surprised. They make pink camo. So
Yep.
But yeah, definitely something different. Cool. I've shot it once, and freaking awesome for a bolt gun.
It's got any kick to it at all, or
Not really. It's heavy. It's got the nice recoil pad on the back there, so not too bad.
is that Mossberg standard?
Yeah.
That shotgun that you sold me, that Mossberg, that's got that same thing on there.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them come with some sort of little bit of a buffer, just so you're not getting the full.
Still haven't shot that thing.
Yeah. I mentioned this a lot. I hate the fact that I sold you that one.
Why? It looks badass. I don't
Exactly.
care if I never fire it.
Exactly, because it's the Marine Coat one. It's like, man,
Why do you want it back?
That's the expensive one. I like it. Haven't been able to find one since.
I'll let you have it for $750.
Okay.
I paid $580, whatever. But
I don't remember what I sold that to you for.
it was what, $580, $590. I don't know.
I bought it off Gunbroker, and it was a really good deal back then, and cleaned it up, and it's basically freaking brand new.
Mossberg 590A1.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Which is the military version. And so the one I have above here that I've done some videos on where I changed out the furniture on it, it's a 590. Not as beefy and cool as his.
Well, you're my son. I'm your father. I don't care. I'll trade you straight up for the shotgun for shotgun. If you would rather have the A1,
so
I'll give it back to you if you give me that one. I don't care.
So have you seen the one I have above here?
Yeah.
I like the Magpul
furniture
on there. It makes a world of difference. It makes it heavier, but with that 590A1, you got way more metal on there. So you got the thick barrel.
It looks badass.
It is.
And
it won't rust.
The presentation
with that finish on it.
So cool.
It won't rust. So when you get a boat out in Nantucket, you can take it on the sea and don't have to worry about it rusting.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Actually,
the cops aren't going to come after me there, are they? Out in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Shotgun out on the boat.
Well, you're in international waters then.
Oh, my God. The locals will be up. That's a pretty blue area out there. And
pretty. Very blue.
They would not like some gun-toting Kansan to move in and start freaking blasting rounds up in the air on the 4th of July.
I think that's the only way we can get that to convert, because you have all these Democrats moving from California to Texas, turning Texas blue. So why don't we move to blue states and turn them red?
Yeah.
Doesn't work that way.
No.
If we could get several million people to do it, I would do it. But it's going to take a
miracle
army.
Well, that would take several years. It's expensive. It's expensive. And
so, all right, guys. So we are actually going to make this a two-part episode.
Guys, we're actually going to make this a 2-part episode.
So wait a second. Am I getting paid for 2 episodes, or
did you have to make 2 trips? Did you have to make 2 trips?
No.
Did you get paid for 1, motherfucker?
You can talk to my agent, and then he'll talk to his lawyer, who will talk to my lawyer, and then we'll get back and figure all this out.
My agent's my wife, and she takes no for an answer. Just kidding.
His wife is my daughter-in-law.
Oh, really? Thanks for clarifying that.
She's going to have to make me some... I'll tell you what. Veal Parmesan, and I'm good.
She has burrito tacos downstairs for us, ready to go.
Really?
Yes. Burrito tacos. What? And more whiskey. So...
What?
Yes. So
why are we still here?
Yeah. So this is a 2-parter. So stay tuned next week where we're going to resume the conversation with Big Joe here. Not sitting on a phone book.
Yep.
2-parter. So
sitting on a phone book? What do I look like, a little kid? What do I look like, a little kid?
Not at all.
Hey, I got a great idea. Why don't you go fuck yourself?
He's going to make the outros or the intros?
Yeah.
Fuck.
I can do some awesome things with editing.
Yeah, fuck you.
So Chris, in this part 1 for us.
Remember, this is a YouTube podcast. Remember to like, subscribe, and tickle our bell. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or any other listening platform, please remember to like and follow.
You got a great radio voice. That's fucking awesome.
With that one, have a good one.